So it looks like the game is back underway. It looks like Vici is going to do an aggressive triple lane like LD predicted, and Super going the solo mid build. It looks like Enchantress will start off in the bottom. ROTK, I'm not exactly sure if he's starting off in the jungle for Team DK or starting off in the opposite. Looks like he's headed up there already, and no wards out yet for other team, save this one lone ward on the far right-hand side of the map. And just trying to scout out. They predicted early aggressive triple lane from Vici Gaming. And what is Nature's Prophet doing? Yep.
All right, guys. Let's introduce the match properly for those just tuning in. Anyone who's confused. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Merlini. We're casting our final best of 3 of the day for the RedBull ECL Season 2 LAN Finals. It's the quarterfinals. Our final quarterfinal. Man, that's a mouthful. Vici Gaming versus DK. Game 1 of a best of 3. Winner will move on to the semifinals. Loser will go home. We'll have Fenrir on the support Visage. Trian scouting out of Hastern. Very fortunate for them. Vici Gaming running an aggressive tri-lane. Also featuring FY on the Rubik. And Tutu, the new addition, the former carry player from 4Love, handling the Windrunner. CTY will be your solo mid. That Snowball Queen of Pain. Heavily decked out. Pooled as well. They really want him to crush. On the top lane, it'll be ZSMJ, a carry prophet, starting with the TP scroll, as well as Trience at level 1. Maybe worried about a first blood attempt. And then on the Radiant side, it'll be Team DK, ROTK. And yes, he is the R-God, the god of yelling, the god of war in Dota. He likes to scream. He'll be playing the Darkseer. Super, your solo mid, Alchemist. In the jungle, QQQ, Hakuna Matata handling that Enchantress. Burning on the Weaver. Die playing that support Nyx Assassin. And Merlini, I think the interesting thing for me is they have not opted to send the Nyx mid at the start to harass this Queen of Pain. They're just going to leave Super to his own devices. And when it's Queen of Pain versus Alk and the Queen of Pain got pulled, that's going to mean a tough matchup for Super.
Yeah, I'm surprised that VG didn't actually have Sentry Wards in lane for DK. I'm not actually sure if it was dewarded or not, but Burning should be able to survive most of this. I don't think the triple lane is actually going as well as expected for them. They actually, I think, blocked a little bit. The first wave suicided a tower, and now VG is in a much more defensive position than DK would desire. And they don't have control of their pool.
Interesting. QQQ also in the offensive jungle position, looking maybe to set up a gank, but good use of the Trian so far from ZSMJ. Scout out the Enchantress. QQQ also has been unable to find a good creep. I didn't actually see, did he block has he been blocking these camps with Triance? Like
I don't think so.
I noticed they sentry warded this big camp. So obviously they blocked one of them, but I'm not sure if he's been using Triance to block this camp. We'll see, I guess. In the meantime, it looks like the Enchantress pulling the creeps away from the tower. And actually, she'll end up blocking the camp herself as QQQ decides to abandon the offensive jungle. Didn't get much done there, to say the least.
Yep, Super will pick up his DD rune, so a little bit going in the way of his favorite in the middle lane. 8 and 8 on the Queen of Pain, and only 3 and 3 on the Alchemist. So CTY is expected dominating this middle lane in this Queen of Pain versus Alchemist matchup. Meanwhile, Burning on the bottom lane having a very difficult time farming, 3 and 0 in last hits.
Yeah, tough matchup for Burning. Obviously, he's not expected to farm here. He's expected to not die. Or at least to minimize the deaths if possible. And so far, he's done a nice job of that. He's still getting some experience. Can they pull is the question. Right now, 1 Sentry Ward placed, out of range of the Magic Bush Ward, also out of range of the Observer Ward. I believe both of these blocking that spawn, so there is just no way DK are going to get any pulls off. I think they got 1 at level 1, or either that or Die stole some experience, and he can do some stacking now, but you mentioned the importance of Nyx getting level 6. We are not going to see it early. However, what we do see is ZSMJ being sent back to base by ROTK's Darkseer. He's only level 2 to the 4 of ROTK, and this is a big problem. I actually think ROTK could be going for a first blood pretty soon.
Yeah, he was prepared for it with that early TP scroll, but I don't actually know why MLY didn't get mana burn either. He's level 2, he went a 101 build. The Carapace is okay, but I don't think he's going to be the main target. He should just be standing very far in the back, burning these very mana-dependent heroes. I think Visage is probably the best candidate for that, try and negate the soul assumption that is so dominant in triple lanes.
Here comes the Harpy Stormcrafter. So far, we saw a Mono Burn creep head top, a Mono Burn creep head mid, and now one of the most annoying creeps. I wouldn't say the strongest, but definitely one of the most annoying. You could spam this Chain Lightning a good like 7 or 8 times. Last hit with it, harass the enemy trialing back. Vici Gaming slowly being plinked away at, but
well, good scouting by the Nature's Prophet up here, always keeping track of where the Enchantress is.
Yeah, interesting, because QQQ actually, he left this jungle, he went back towards mid, and now he's back at top again. Seems like he really wants to keep the pressure up on the Prophet. The 4-minute rune spawns, and it will be a haste bottom. Picked up for Die. He now deploys an Observer Ward, and actually, is he hunting this Courier? No way he's going to get that. Maybe looking to make a go on our Queen of Pain, but he will end up backing off. So overall, Merlini, we've seen a very passive start. The Windrunner for Vici Gaming, as well as the Queen of Pain, farming well. For DK, it's the Darkseer and the Alk. Do you give any big advantage to
I
either
think
team?
that DK just kind of threw away their advantage with the Enchantress not playing aggressively at all in the top lane. I think they can just dive the Nature's Prophet, force him either out of the lane or just to give up first blood and then try and take down the tower. He rotated down bottom. He didn't really interfere mid. I think he could use that mana burn creep to burn the Queen of Pain a little bit more and give more of an edge to Super. But when you have a jungle hero and you're not doing much with it, you usually lose at least 2 out of 3 of your lanes. And I would actually say that they're losing bottom lane because the Windrunner is super far ahead on last assist. 31-3. Shackle flies out on burning on bottom.
Uh-oh. If they get a lift off, it could be first blood, but they can't quite nail it. Die with the timely disengage. He'll throw it in Impale. His team will back off. Now there are boots and bottle up on this Queen of Pain, and Super might have to be careful. You'll notice CTY did go for the double Shadow Strike build. Generally the perfect build. Oh, we see a Shackle bottom lane. Hold that thought. Die gets caught out. Lifted back up. Thrown in. But he'll simply Impale. Almost caught Tutu. If he catches Tutu there, that might be our first blood, but narrowly missing him. They're not farming well at all, but they if this Enchantress comes bottom, they could easily get a kill. And surprisingly, QQQ continues to spend his time top, continues to not get any kills. If he's not going to get any kills on the Prophet, I'd like to see him just push the tower.
Yep, looks like ROTK is trying to do that right now, trying to tank the creeps behind the tower, but DSMJ trying to use those Nature's Prophet treants to control the wave, tank up for the tower a little bit. It's still relatively healthy, 1100 out of 1300 HP. QQQ, let's see what kind of creeps he gets. He has the treant. That's the troll. It's pretty good for pushing, especially with a double troll summon.
Yeah, he had an Ogre Bruiser earlier, I believe, which is not ideal. Super's going to rotate top. He is level 6 now. He's got a level 2 stun. But can the Treant scout things out? Good positioning from ZSMJ. Unfortunately, though, they're running this Prophet as, I would say, one of their most important heroes. Like, this is a tricore of intelligence carries. No Storm, or no OD, who are, like, intelligence but somewhat still hard carries. These heroes have to have a certain amount of farm to impact the game, and ZSMJ is only level 3. He's really struggling here. Compare that to Burning. Burning's level 5 in a dual lane against a tri-lane.
So we see a rotation from VG, but it's a little bit too late. Both of the supports from the bottom are headed top. They are currently sitting behind CTY in middle, though. And this leaves Windrunner bottom, and finally DK Burning gets to get some farm.
Yeah, CTY has been dominating this middle lane. 30 and 20, make no mistake about it. 22 and 7 on Super. About as good as you would expect, all things considered, for the matchup. Did not get help from the Nyx early. CTY not snowballing just yet. That looks
like a first blood may happen on top very
They want to go for a lift, but QQQ, the savvy veteran, and he is a veteran, by the way. 28 years old, he'll be at this International 3. He's been in the Dota world for quite a long time, but he doesn't get caught. He'll scout things out. So they do take the tier 1 top in the end, but this is Q for Vici Gaming to leave their very farmed, very tanky and survivable, well, not tanky, but survivable Windrunner with phase boots up, as well as Arena Basilius on level 4. They'll leave her alone, and are they just going to roam here, or are they going to try lane top? Seems like
I
they're
have no
not sure.
idea. They're just like hovering back and forth in between this area, wasting their time. A lot of inefficient movement by the supports, Enchantress, and these supports on the side of VG.
You know, they definitely can leave Windrunner alone, so I don't mind them moving off of the bottom lane because they weren't getting kills there, but they need to have a purpose. Are they going to stack? Are they going to gank? There's got to be something in mind. For the time being, they're just sitting in the mid lane, fighting Enchantress creeps that will eventually despawn anyway, while QQQ is not farming them. Like, we can actually take a look at levels, because I think that's the one thing that's really important right now, and I would say DK coming out way on top. There are 3 level 4 heroes on Vici Gaming, and there's only 1 on DK. Everyone else, 8 or 5 or higher.
Trying to go on Super in the middle. Shackle shot misses.
Yeah, there's your stun. 2-2 gets caught. There's no Centaur Stomp. It was already used. 2-2 will be able to disengage. CSMJ, meanwhile, has picked up a regen rune. Flashiest player in the Chinese scene, dare I say it, but we're not seeing any real flash this game. He just hasn't had the openings.
And VG, I think they could use a smoke gank on top too. They're constantly scouted by the Enchantress's creeps, and even though Enchantress isn't actually putting out a lot of pressure on the VG heroes. He's doing a very good job of preventing the aggression from these two supports and their rotation.
You know, I'm really worried for Vici Gaming because this Darkseer is going to have a 10-minute mech.
Oh, bottom lane.
We'll have an initiation bottom lane. Die gets caught out. There's your shackle, but a nice carapace will allow him to disengage. On the run's your Windrunner. 2-2. Oh, Burning can't find him. Throws up the Swarm. Catches FY as well as Fenrir. Double TP, but the mono burns there. And wow, that did a lot of damage. Die will secure the first blood for his squad. But Merlini, to finish my point, I'm really worried for Vici Gaming. I already was really worried before that first blood because you look at their lineup, it's all about burst and it's all about early to mid-game ganking. And Darkseer has a mech at 10 minutes in. You already have Enchantress Heal. You've got very survivable heroes. Carapace on the Nyx. The Alk being naturally tanky with his Chemical Rage. And Weaver, Time-Lapse, Sakuchi. Survivable heroes. And now they have a mech. If you don't burst them, you're losing the fight. And as long as the mech's involved in those fights, I just don't see Vici bursting anyone.
Yep, and they're losing towers too. Furion can't really do much in this lane. Maybe if he had TP'd bottom and just played very aggressively on their triple lane, maybe they could have gotten a kill. But he's just trying to choose to contest farm with the Darkseer. But Darkseer is like 3 levels ahead of him.
Yep, he'll TP back home for the time being. ROTK will. The mech is now available. He actually sent that mech out mid, then TP's back, but he'll get it soon nonetheless. And if you're DK, do you just start 5-manning now, or do you just split push and farm?
I think they just need to counter the aggression from VG. All they need to do is farm it up right now. They have heroes that scale better than VG. If they get a BKB, VG can almost do nothing versus them. So I think once they get BKB, it's just going to be like very, very difficult for VG to come. And all they need to do is play passively, minimize losses until then, and maximize their farm.
I feel Vici Gaming is a bit aimless this game. A lot of movement, not accomplishing very much. The score 0-1, 11 minutes in. DK's just had all the answers. They'll find RTK in the jungle, they'll shackle him, but now they need to run the hell away. And RTK says, hello, Windrunner. I do like gingers. They'll find the Windrunner. He tries to bring her down. Low, but not out just yet. FY will be the casualty here. Killed off in the river. There's your Queen of Pain ult. Catches a few, but the mech turns it around. Now an Impale. Oh, no. This could be bad for CTY. It is bad. It could have been spectacular. But the mech against Queen of Pain this early just completely negates her ability to find kills.
And their underlevel support's really starting to show right now. Rubik just dies so easily.
That mech, 10-minute mech against a burst damage lineup. Not enough chain stun to prevent ROTK from getting off the mech. What do you do?
Well, you hope that ROTK doesn't join them in the fight and over farms, but right now you can't fight the Darkseer right now. You need an Orchid to try and contest him. You need mass superior numbers. You also need better vision. They didn't have vision in this area. They have it in mid and in bottom. I'm surprised they choose to fight in the one place that they don't, near that bottom river.
DK grouped up on the bottom lane as 2, confidently pushing. We'll have a bit of a lag spike here as Vici Gaming tries to chase down ROTK. Low, he will fall. The Perfect World server is lagging for both of us, so we cannot switch computers, unfortunately. But it does seem Vici Gaming end up finding a kill on RTK, an important kill. Can they group off of this? There's no familiars yet? Oh, sorry, there are familiars. Actually, okay. I thought Darkseer just died again, but that was just a notification coming super late. Looks like the game settled down for now. We'll push the bottom tower. Yeah. Mine settled down. Yours is not.
Mine is not. I have no idea what's going on.
All right, we'll just watch my screen for now. It's super QQQ pushing the middle lane while that's happening. Vici Gaming grouped up as a squad of 5. They'll take the tower bottom, so they take a tier 1 off of that. That's nice for them, but I feel like for Vici Gaming, taking towers is just what they need to do to have a chance in this game. Whereas when DK take towers, that's like massive advantage gained.
Yeah, the top tower is a pretty big deal too. I would say the mid tower is second most important, but the more room that Nyx Assassin can have to gank, he just hit level 7, he has his arcane boots, he is ready to gank, the more dangerous things are for Vici Gaming.
Good job here by DK, scouting Roshan early and often, because Vici Gaming have a lineup that can take Roshan. They've got their mech on 2-2 now, they have Prophet with several points in the tree, and in fact has maxed them first as well, which isn't that uncommon, but just interesting to see that he's hit level 7, because he was struggling for a while there. They have the familiars. If they get a medallion, Vici Gaming could totally sneak Roshan. I feel like that's the kind of thing they need to do. If they just play the standard, I think DK takes it with ease.
It's just so difficult to do it with this T1 tower up. If no one's defending, you know something's up. If there's only one hero defending and no one's on the map, you also know that they're doing Roshan. So with this wave constantly pushed with the acid spray, it'll be fairly obvious for DK to tell whether or not there is a Roshan. And Enchantress has been doing a fairly good job of sending her creeps in. As long as she keeps doing that, I don't see any reason why they should give up a free Roshan to VG. They're smoked up in mid, try to look for a kill, but there's no one there.
Oh, they smoked just to the right of a ward, but I think their movement away from that ward might have been spotted. They'll draw a path, they mark the X on the map, and they say, let's backstab mid. DK rotating in, Super leading the way. There's your stun from downtown. He'll hit the familiars. He gets 2 with that stun. Didn't realize it affected them. Now a Shackle Shot comes in. Won't connect an ROTK, and the chase is on Burning. Heading down the river, now up the river. Once FY gets surged forward. Now Sakuchin as well. Double haste for Burning. Why the hell not? FY in a lot of trouble here. He gets back, imped up, and brought down one last swarm to end them all. And DK, they'll find 2 kills. Those supports of Vici Gaming just doesn't feel like they're having a big impact.
Not at all. 0-2-2 for the Visage, 0-3-3 for the Rubik, and looks like 2-2 just gets immediately bursts it down. This setup stun from MY, I think MY has been playing pretty decently, even though we didn't see him mana burn in the early game. He's just been at the right place at the right time, setting things up for DK.
Meanwhile, DK continue to push the mid tower. It's dropping quite quickly. And they'll take a tier 1 in the mid lane. And on that note, they'll have their drum soon for Bernie if he wants to go for them. Super going for a Shadow Blade, nearly complete. DK, in fact, it is complete. He's got the gold for the Claymore now. DK about to pick up some very big items. I shudder to look at the gold grab. But I'll check it anyway for those who want to know the raw cold stats. It'll be a 5k gold lead for DK. Make it a 7.5k experience lead. We're only 15 minutes in, and DK, the heavy favorites in this particular best of 3. Perhaps no surprises. We liked their draft a lot better, but they are cruising.
Queen of Pain trying to go for the Orchid, but it's going to be like a 21, maybe 22-minute Orchid if things continue as it's been going. I don't necessarily think Orchid is that bad, just considering that the fact that DK has been 5-man for a lot of these fights. I think it's a fantastic item, usually against this lineup, but not necessarily versus their playstyle.
The other thing is that if he is off on his own farming, there's a Nyx, there's an Alk with a Shadow Blade. Either of those heroes can nearly solo kill you. If you just go straight Orchid, you have at best power treads and a null talisman. Maybe 1,000 HP. That's it. That is just at the point where a Nyx can almost solo kill you, and it's definitely at the point where an Alk with a Shadow Blade can solo kill you. But at the same time, somebody's got to dish out the damage for this Vici Gaming team, because Windrunner's Gone Mech is only level 7, Rubik's not even 6 yet, and the Nature's Prophet has a Midas, now another Gloves of Haste. This will be a Maelstrom, and this will be full YOLO mode split push Prophet.
Yeah, it is very dangerous for Queen of Pain, dude. They have just such good focus with the single target ability of Alchemist and a lot of the single target ability from Nyx Assassin. And VG really have no combo breakers. And as an all-intelligence lineup, you really need to have a lot of control in the game so you can continue to snowball after that in the mid game, man. They're behind in kills right now. They're way behind in farm, way behind in levels. It's going to be very difficult for them to come back, especially if Queen of Pain continues to die.
Yeah, too many smart people. It's like having too many foodies in your group of friends. You just never choose a restaurant. Everybody knows best in Vici Gaming. Too many ent heroes. Just too easy to pick off. They'll sit back. Burning on the bottom side of the map. He's got an Ogre Club up now. He'll rotate towards the creep wave and look to push things out. The other big problem I have for Vici Gaming is not only are they vulnerable to the 5-man, they're also vulnerable to ganks. And to make things worse, they can't stop DK from split pushing. Here we go. Mid lane. RTK caught out. He will be lifted up. He pops the mech. He's still alive. The Queen of Pain off the mark. Now a back in. It turns around, and it turns around in a hurry, potentially. Everybody's on the run. They're all being driven back. Fenrir to fall. Those familiars could be next. The chase continues up to the high ground. 2-2 able to live. TP's out at the last possible second. But when your victories are jumping out of a burning ship and into an ocean with no life raft,
no, that Queen of Pain
doesn't feel too good.
On the Darkseer actually cost him pretty heavily. He was able to get his mech off and get healed up by his teammates, drop his vacuum and his wall. And I thought they were going to be able to burst him down with that surprise, but Shackle Shot missing, as well as the Queen of Pain ultimate really killing them in that team fight.
Doesn't seem like there's many. Oh, well, I did mention the possibility for Alk to solo kill the Queen of Pain. Same thing is true for the Prophet. And, well, I missed that kill. You can guess what happened. Stun, channel the stun, Shadow Blade in, throw it, and then right-click. Easy kill. And that's the thing is you can't really go split push Prophet against a Nyx and a Shadow Blade Alk unless you're very far ahead, and they're very far behind.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet looks like he's going for a Maelstrom build
Yeah,
after
Maelstrom
this.
build.
I think that's very, very ballsy.
I guess there's no other choice, but I think this is just goes back to our analysis of the draft, which was that Vici Gaming had to dominate the lanes. It was going to be hard for them to do it because Prophet likely to lose to Darkseer, a tri-lane with a Windrunner and a Visage unlikely to find kills against Weaver. I didn't even feel like DK executed perfectly. I would have rather seen I would have rather seen the Nyx getting Monoburn, harassing the Queen of Pain more mid,
Or just
and it didn't matter.
Pre-pooling on bottom too. They used 2 wards to block the spawn. They weren't able to utilize that for the first 6 minutes, but things just kind of falling apart for VG here. And we see MMY mid vendetta up looking for blood.
So is Burning. They're all looking for blood. It's a pack of bugs.
Is he going to find Tutu? No. I would have liked to see a Necronomicon pickup from Nature's Prophet. I think that if they want to win, they need to take down tower so they can get that they can get more gold. But when you're behind, it's very difficult to do so. Maelstrom is not going to do much when they get BKBs. Tutu gets stunned in the middle, but it looks like they aren't going to go on it. And they have 3 invisibility heroes too that you need to worry about.
Thing is, you might need a gem, but a lot of these heroes, even if you find them, they're still very tanky. Alchemist, when his ult's up, already has a plate mail. He'll be sitting around, I don't know, 1500 HP, additional HP regen as well, and 13 armor as it is. That's not an easy hero to bring down. Nor is your Enchantress, who now has a point booster and treads. There's just nobody to burst on this squad. ROTK, now a hood up. He's almost got a pipe. Wow. I love this item choice. Once he gets a pipe, DK can just ram their 5-man lineup down Vici Gaming's throat mid. They can gank if they want. They can split push if they want. I think they've got late game easily with an Alchemist who now has nearly max Greevil's Greed. They could win this game in like 4 or 5 different ways. And for Vici Gaming, yeah. I think the only way they can win is if DK really make mistakes.
Yeah, I think just the inflexibility of their line are really showing through right now. When they're far behind, what can they do? They don't have any really good power farmers like Nature's Prophet, but again, he's vulnerable to the 2 invisibility heroes that you were talking about earlier. So he's not going to be able to put a lot of pressure out on the map. They've only taken down 1 tower thus far to 4 from DK, and I thought that DK had the way weaker early game lineup.
Yeah, I thought they were a bit weaker, but I think we did see that it's hard for this lineup to actually get kills. I mean, Queen of Pain mid maybe should have been the one who could get kills on the Alk, but Super played the matchup well. Played it defensively, bottle crowed a lot, was pulled a single set of tangos and rushed his bottle. Now they're going to be hunting CTY, and while he will escape, he's running for his life inside his own jungle. That's generally a symptom of an illness, and the illness here is that Vici Gaming are slowly dying in game 1. This looks to be a 1-0 start for DK, but it's not over just yet. We can take another look at the gold graph and see it's 7.5k gold lead for DK, a 7.5k experience lead. I don't think the numbers there matter. What matters is the fact they have Pipe, they have Mech, they have a BKB very soon on Burning, and everybody else is tanking up and getting their utility items. So, perfect items to 5-man, perfect items to team fight.
VG is getting some items though. There's the Maelstrom as well as 1600 gold on Nature's Prophet. There is the Orchid finally on the Queen of Pain. If they get the right engagement on the Darkseer, I think it's probably the most important hero to kill, or getting the Orchid up on the Nyx Assassin. Both of those could very well lead to a team fight victory.
This could be bad. It's a massive wraparound. Die leading the charge. He's going to catch 2. There's your Impale. And the stun hitting the Windrunner. And now the Impale hitting the Queen of Pain. They'll bring down 1. They'll bring down 2 as well. No way out for him. He'll die to the Monoburn, or rather, not the Monoburn, the Ion Shell. Excuse me. DK. 5 heroes grouped up mid. They'll find some familiars. Additional gold. This is the kid who, you know, is just having everything right now. They've got the world. DK, they had a great laning start. They have so many options on how to win this game, but I think the easiest one is just they could go high ground now. I don't actually think Vici Gaming can defend.
Yeah, there's no reason to rush it. They don't need to take any unnecessary risk and maybe get, well, Nature's Prophet on top. Is he going to die? No Shadow Blade, no chance of survival.
What do you think? Of course he's going to die, Ben. Of course he's going to die. It is actually very annoying to play against the Shadow Blade out because a hero like Prophet, but when you're behind like this, easy kills.
They just need BKBs and maybe AC up on the Alchemist. He's very close to it, if not having it already. All he needs is a Hyperstone. Just take Roshan, get an Aegis up on the Alchemist, and then just push up the hill. It's pretty sure victory for DK. I would put them at like 9-1 favorites right now. And barring any huge mistakes and VG being able to capitalize on it, it's just too difficult. They can't 5-man. They can't because they're too weak item-wise and hero lineup-wise. They can't split push because Alchemist keeps picking them off. They're just at a loss as to what to do right now.
Well, they can look to come back in game 2.
That is probably the best option.
I mean, generally you and I don't like to call games early or say games out of reach if there is a chance of a comeback. The only chance of a comeback here for Vici Gaming is just repeated catastrophic errors from DK. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, even with a Roshan steal right now, I don't even really think it matters too much. There is the bird coming in, so it looks like they know what's going on.
Great familiar stun, but now Roshan continues to drop. DK, they have an Assault Cuirass as well. That's the other big thing. This is the ideal item selection to end the game by 30 minutes. Assault Cuirass, mech, pipe, all your R items, all your 5-man push items, and then the utility items. The Shadow Blade for initiation, the BKB on Burning to keep him alive, and the Force Staff on the Nyx, as well as just general tank items on QQQ.
And the Aegis.
I love this item selection from DK. I don't know that this is a completely different style from them, but we're seeing that they can be an adaptable team.
Yeah,
Vici Gaming made this easy, but I like how they saw they had an advantage they could exploit, and they're doing that.
They're not putting all their eggs in one basket and Burning like they usually do too. And other people are making plays in this game.
Yeah, Burning's just a utility hero this game. Not to say that he hasn't done anything, because he lived against an aggressive tri-lane. He's 2-0-7. Burning certainly had his impact, but he's not the heavy hitter. The heavy hitter is Super on a massive out. 4-0-5, as well as ROTK. Now with the Blink Dagger. Oh, watch out. This is a Blink Vacuum into an Alk Stun, into an Impale, into the Swarm, into death. If he gets a good vacuum, fight's over, folks.
VG desperately trying to stay in this game with good use of wards. They have one near the secret shop. They have one on top lane so that hopefully Nature's Prophet can constantly put out pressure there. They need towers to win the game, and they still only have one, even with Nature's Prophet attempting to split push. He had a pretty good farm rate on his Midas, on his Treads, and his Maelstrom. Now he has Shadow Blade, but he's 0-2-2, but he's definitely top net worth on the side of VG.
Burning continuing to push that bottom lane. He's up to 2.4k gold. He'll work towards his next damage item now. Probably a Demon Edge into an MKB. Up against the Windrunner would be a very solid choice. Vici Gaming desperately trying to hold on. If they lose this tower, this could be big trouble. Still the Aegis alive on Burning. We'll check how long he's got left. A good 4 minutes. So for Team DK, might be that opportunity to go high ground. You've taken the last tier 2. You've got an Aegis for 4 minutes time. You've got nearly every core item you could ever wish for. The only thing you don't have is your Ags, and in surges RTK. He would love to start this party with a bang. He's bringing the fireworks. He's bringing the M80s. Can he find a target? Not yet.
Alchemist can just straight up tank the tower, not even worry about it at all. He is super far right now. 19 armor with Shadow Blade. Oof, he's super scary.
As someone in the chat just pointed out, Darkseer has a new set of item icons, actually.
Oh, yeah. Those look pretty awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Me and Lumi noticed that the first game. And DK just stealing this Ancient stack from VG. Ouch, that has to hurt.
Yeah. They don't even want the Ancients. They're just taking them because they can. They don't need them. They just want to show what bullies they are. And indeed, they are bullying Vici Gaming. Make no mistake about it. Score now 13-4. 27 minutes in. DK are cruising. They went 5-0 through the group stage. If they take this series 2-0, they would be 7-0 and perhaps could be on their way to an undefeated run through the entirety of the RedBull ECL Season 2 LAN Finals. Super pushy in mid. He'll drop the acid spray here. He'll clean up a creep wave. I don't see any reason to wait for DK. 3 minutes on the Aegis. Nothing important. Sure, Ags on Enchantress is nice. You don't need that to go high ground. You've got your level 2 wall. You've got your Blink Dagger on the Darkseer. It's time. For DK, I'll personally be a bit disappointed in them if they don't just go with this Aegis and break the base.
Yep. It is
like,
typical.
sure, they'll probably still win if they don't, but I think it's important as a team to be a top team to just have that killer instinct. You can win the game now. Why wait? Go win the game now.
I agree.
We'll see if they do it.
Nature's Prophet being a little bit cheeky, TPing on this bottom.
This is when you're doing this as a pro player, you know you're behind. Like, you'll see pub prophets do this at level 1 because they're lazy or noob and they don't feel like micro in their trance. But when you do this in a pro game, you're very far behind.
There's a gem pickup on the Windrunner, but they're usually staying under T3 anyway, so not too big of a deal.
Here comes the push mid, 1,600 gold up on Burning. But more importantly, there's an Aegis. He'll come in right away. He will time lapse back out and not accomplishing a whole lot. Should really be this Alchemist in the front lines, I feel. They've got a mech, they've got a pipe. And if they go on the Alch, ROTK just counter-initiates. Super should just be banging on the tower. The Darkseer should be ready to jump in behind him should Vici Gaming look to go. there's not any reason in my book for Burning to be in the front. Sure, he's got Aegis, but you've still got some time here. You've got probably about a minute and a half to go. You don't need to blow it right now. Wait a minute, wait 45 seconds, and then you can force the issue.
I think they can also just split push a little bit. Weaver can split push against the Nature's Prophet, keep that lane push out so they aren't forced to retreat. They're just sitting around wasting a lot of time in middle, and it looks like they do not know how to properly execute a T3 push this early just because that.
Yeah, should be popping the pipe right now.
Yeah.
That should go hit the rack.
There.
Get in that ass. Let's see if they're going to do it. There's your blink. There's your back. 3 hero impale and a whole lot of pain. 2-2 on the run. They'll find a few. CTY able to blink away. They only get 2 in the end, but that was a punch to the mouth from DK.
Yeah, nice vacuum into stun, mass stun combo from DK and instantly wiping almost 3 of these heroes.
And now they'll take the racks mid. DK doing work. Meanwhile, ZSMJ, he's split pushing. He'll take a tier 2, but a Rax for tier 2 at 30 minutes in is thin consolation. Now 2-2 will go down max. He'll get isolated here. He'll get caught out. And the GG comes from Vici Gaming. DK, a sub 30-minute win for them. One of their faster wins in recent memory before this event. They've been winning more quickly. They've been winning with style. I wouldn't say it was perfect execution, but it does seem DK is doing their best to evolve, and I'm impressed by that.
On the flip side, VG just not having a really well put together strat. They really had only one single focused target, which was trying to get an advantage in the early game and snowball off that with their mass intelligence lineup. They didn't have the greatest late game. They didn't have the greatest lanes, and things just kind of fell apart for them when you get behind a couple of kills.
So heading into game 2 for Vici Gaming, I think there were 2 big things here. One was the draft. They need to draft better. The second was the movement of the supports and just the decision-making of the supports.
Yeah,
I mean, not to say that everyone else on the team played great, because obviously they all struggled, but I felt like those supports did nothing this game.
Yeah, they needed to overwhelm them with numbers, maybe bring Prophet up the down bottom, and tower dive them with a treants, maybe get Queen of Pain a TP and gank them. They needed to outnumber VG, or outnumber DK in the early game, and they just never really had the smooth movement around the map to take control of the early game.
Definitely does not remind you of Extinct and Net, that's for damn sure. Doesn't remind you of Kuroki or Puppy too much. VG Gaming have had some good performances. They've taken down some top Chinese teams in months past, but as of late, well, they've struggled. They've made a roster change. They're going to drop game 1 of this best of 3, just waiting for our Nature's Prophet to hopefully leave the game so we can get a final score.
I don't think he's going to leave. All the people from DK looks like they're AFK.
Yeah. All right, well, if he doesn't disconnect after this TP, we'll just cut to a break here. He'll suicide to the enemy fountain. A spectacular finish. Or no, to the enemy team. And then buys back. Will he do it again? Come on, Prophet. Come on, buddy. Come on. You can do it. He's trolling me. All right, you won't troll me anymore, ZSMJ. You won't troll me anymore.
All right. Well, 17-4, the final score after Nature's Prophet TP'd into the middle of 3 of them. He's desperately trying to get the rack smite now, but too little, too late. Farm DSPNJ can't carry 1v5. So game 2 will be coming up very shortly. Again, this is Vici Gaming versus DK in the in the Red Bull ECL I guess finals, right? Or kind of upper bracket finals, group stage finals, something like that.
That's right. It's the Red Bull ECL Season 2 LAN finals. And I say Season 2 because the first place team of this event actually is seeded into the grand final, so they're going to have a bigger tournament. This is only a $20,000 tournament, but the next one's going to be big.
All right. Well, thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, on that note, guys, it looks like this game is in the bag. We're going to be heading to a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be live with another best of 3. Or rather, with game 2 of this best of 3. It'll be DK versus Vici Gaming, with DK now leading the set 1-0.